Have you ever noticed this strange thing happening to you? You sit down thinking you are not even hungry. Maybe you just had a meal, or you told yourself you will only take a small snack. But then something changes. You open a packet of chips, or you see something tasty, and suddenly just one bite turns into many more. Before you even realize it, the plate is empty. And the weird part is, your stomach was never actually asking for food. So what exactly is going on here? Why does your brain completely change your decision in a few seconds? Why do we keep eating even when our body has enough energy already? It feels like hunger, but it's not real hunger. It's something deeper happening inside your mind, something you don't notice in that moment. And here's the most interesting part. Your brain is not just reacting to food. It is reacting to signals, triggers, and hidden reward systems that silently push you to eat more than you need. The question is not, why can't you control yourself? The real question is, who is actually controlling you when you eat? We usually think that hunger is controlled by our stomach, that when our body needs food, we eat, and when it's full, we stop. It sounds simple, right? But in reality, things are not that simple. Because the truth is, your stomach only sends basic signals, but the real decision of when to eat, what to eat, and how much to eat is made somewhere else. It is your brain that is constantly guiding these choices in the background. And the most interesting part is this. Most of the time, you don't even realize that your brain has already influenced your decision before you take the first bite. It feels normal, it feels like your own choice, but silently, something deeper is already working. So the real question is not just about hunger. The real mystery is how your brain is controlling your eating habits without you noticing it. Now let's go a bit deeper into what actually happens inside your brain the moment you see food. Imagine this. You are scrolling on your phone, and suddenly a video pops up. A hot, cheesy pizza being pulled apart, melted cheese stretching, steam coming out. Even if you were not thinking about food a second ago, something changes inside you. That something is your brain activating a chemical called dopamine. But here's the interesting part. Dopamine is not just about eating. It is about expectation. It's your brain saying, this is going to feel amazing. And that expectation is powerful enough to create a craving instantly. So you don't need real hunger. You just need a trigger. A smell, a picture, a video, or even a thought is enough to switch your brain into I want this mode. And the crazy thing is, your brain reacts faster than your logic. Before you can think properly, the craving is already there. You feel like you suddenly want food, but in reality, your brain has already made that decision in the background. That's why even full-stomach people say, I don't know why, but I want something tasty. It's not random. It's dopamine working silently. Now here's something most people never notice. You don't always eat because you are hungry. Sometimes your environment quietly controls your brain and pushes you toward food without you realizing it. Imagine this. You are sitting normally, no hunger, no food thoughts. But then you open your phone and start scrolling. Suddenly, a video appears. Hot fries being shaken, cheese stretching, a cold drink fizzing with ice. You were completely fine a moment ago, but now something changes inside you. A small craving starts building in your mind, and you think, eat something. But that feeling is not real hunger. It is a trigger. And the most important thing is this. Your brain reacts faster than you're thinking. It doesn't stop to ask whether you actually need food or not. It instantly connects what you see with pleasure and reward. And the moment that connection happens, a craving is created automatically in your mind. But it doesn't stop on your phone. Look around your daily life. Bright bakery lights glowing at night, fast food boards on roads, snacks placed openly on tables, even the smell coming from nearby shops or kitchens. All of these are constantly sending signals to your brain. And your brain doesn't filter them carefully. It absorbs them silently, again and again. The dangerous part is this. You don't feel controlled at all. You feel like it's your own decision. But in reality, your environment has already planted the idea of eating before you even notice it. Now let's go one step deeper. Because not every time you eat, it's because of hunger or even a trigger. Sometimes it's just a habit running in the background without you noticing. Think about this situation. You are feeling a little stressed after a long day. Or maybe you are just bored, sitting alone with nothing to do. And suddenly, without any clear decision, your hand moves towards snacks, biscuits, or something to eat. It feels automatic, like you didn't even choose it properly. That is your habit loop. Your brain loves patterns. When you repeat something again and again in the same situation, like eating while watching TV, snacking while studying, or eating when stressed, your brain starts connecting that situation with food. Slowly, it becomes a shortcut behavior. So now it's not about hunger anymore, it's about moment equals food. Stress comes, eat. Boredom comes, eat. Free time comes, eat. And you don't even question it because it feels normal. The most interesting part is this. Habits don't feel like decisions. They feel like automatic reactions. That's why you don't stop and think, do I really need this? You just do it. And over time, this loop becomes stronger. The more you repeat it, the faster your brain responds. Until one day, eating is no longer a choice in that moment. It's just a default setting. Now here comes the most dangerous trick your brain falls for, and you don't even notice it happening. It usually starts with something very innocent. You tell yourself, just one bite, one chip, one biscuit, one small taste. Because in your mind, it feels like you are still in control. Nothing serious is happening. But what your brain doesn't tell you is this. It is very slow at sending the I am full signal. Your stomach actually needs time to communicate with your brain. And during that delay, you keep eating. Especially with processed food, this problem becomes even stronger. Chips, fast food, sweets, these foods are designed in a way that they don't fully satisfy your brain quickly. They are so tasty and light that your stopping system gets confused. There is no clear enough signal. So what happens next is predictable. One bite turns into many, and before you realize it, the packet is empty. Not because you were extremely hungry, but because your brain didn't stop you in time. And when the signal finally arrives, it's too late. You are already full, or even overfull. That's when regret comes in. I shouldn't have eaten that much. Now, if you look at everything together, something very clear starts to appear. It was never just about hunger. It was never just about willpower either. The real story is much deeper. Every time you ate without thinking, there was always something working in the background. Your brain, your environment, your habits, and those small, invisible triggers you never paid attention to. Sometimes it was a video that made you crave food. Sometimes it was stress that pushed your hand toward snacks. Sometimes it was just one small bite that turned into a full meal. And at that moment, it never felt wrong. It felt normal. That's the interesting part. You don't feel controlled while it's happening. You feel like you are making your own choices. But when you step back and see the pattern, you realize your decisions were not as random as they seemed. Because overeating is not a single mistake. It is a chain of small influences. A mix of brain signals, environment cues, and repeated habits working together quietly in the background. And once you understand this system, something changes. You don't just eat blindly anymore. You start noticing what is influencing you. Now the real question is, if overeating is happening automatically, can you actually stop it? The truth is, most people try to fix it with willpower. They say, I will control myself from tomorrow. But the problem is, the system stays the same. Same stress, same habits, same triggers, and the brain goes back to autopilot. Nothing really changes. Because overeating is not a single decision. It is a pattern that runs in the background. You don't think about every bite, your brain reacts before you even realize it. That's why control fails again and again. So real change doesn't start with stopping food. It starts with noticing the moment before action. That small gap where you feel the urge but haven't eaten yet. In that moment, instead of reacting, you pause and ask yourself, am I actually hungry or just triggered? This one question breaks the automatic loop. Because your brain only controls you fully when you are not aware. The moment you become aware, the pattern weakens. Slowly, you don't fight food anymore. You understand your mind. And that is where real control begins.